So let's take a look at where we stand right now with the Dow just at around 24,929, 930 right now. This is a rally that has been led by the same ones that have been advancing on the notion that there will be no trade tiff at all. It won't even get that far. So you've seen a big advance in financials and technology. Intel, for example, in and out of new highs. So how to read midday in America here on the East Coast, this market that seems to be impervious to getting dragged down by, well, I don't know, parochial concerns like a worldwide trade war. The read now from Swan Street Strategies partner, Aaron McPike. We've got National Center for Public Policy Research fellow, Horace Cooper, and Daily Caller editorial director, Vince Collames. Vince, end it with you, begin with you. This notion that the markets are sloughing off all these worries.
Yeah, because the market, I think it's because the economy is healthy. This idea that the president's going to drive the market into chaos just by having a trade war, I think it matters. It certainly moves the markets, and we've seen that happen a couple times. But he's bought himself so much runway space by the market being as healthy as it is that I think on the perimeter that he can tinker around. Also, occasionally we see positive signs. China has tried to avert a trade war, has made some offers. Also, Germany trying to offer to bring tariffs down on auto imports. So I think you see signs around the world that people are looking to maybe play ball with Trump, but the underlying strength of the economy is what keeping the market going.
You know, I'm looking at that, some runway space analogy that he mentioned there, Aaron. I'm seeing that has given the president wide latitude, not only the backdrop of these strong earnings that will likely be stronger still in this quarter, 21% or better from a year ago, buoyed by the tax cuts, strong retail sales numbers, strong consumer sentiment surveys, and the rest. How much of this do you see continuing?
Probably most of it. And as we know, President Trump certainly loves to talk about the market and all of these indicators. But what I haven't seen President Trump do a whole lot of is tour truly rural America and the places that are getting hit and would be hit hardest by a trade war if it does occur. And that's probably what he needs to be doing. Now, whether or not that becomes an issue in the midterm, I know it's kind of nitpicking, but yet it's important for his voters. We'll see what happens. But I expect that you'll see a lot of red state Democrats try to make that play. I'm wondering,
Horace, too, when I look at what's going on in the, Brett Kavanaugh appointment to be the next Supreme Court justice, paying his visits and respects on Capitol Hill today. It's going to be a divisive battle, but Republicans are fairly confident that they'll get this guy through. What do you think?
Well, just looking at the numbers, this is going to likely break down with the overwhelming majority, if not every one of the Republicans voting yes and a few Democrats voting yes. That'll get you more than the 50 votes that you need. And what we're looking at as this economy is growing on all 8 cylinders, what you see is a reason for the incumbent parties to feel very, very secure about their situation.
That backdrop that you alluded to at the outset, Vince, is one that could grow as the year ensues because every quarter will be against a year-ago quarter where the tax rates were a lot higher. Then, of course, it gets a little tougher into next year when the comparison is against a similarly low tax environment. But it could carry Republicans to better than expected performances this November. I know it's always risky to calculate that, but right now, I mean, it doesn't appear to be the massive blue wave that was earlier envisioned. What do you think?
Yeah, I think, well, political parties tend to run on each other's weaknesses. So basically, instead of running on the economy, which the Republicans are going to attempt to do, it may be that they've basically disarmed the Democrats from running on the economy being a bad force, and that Republicans shouldn't be in power anymore. You look at, sort of the blue-collar indicators. There's a lot of good ones out there. Yes, the trade war is going to create some issues, but you see people, their salaries, their wages are growing, especially among truck drivers. You've seen such an explosion in sort of what a truck driver's salary is. Also, trucking companies can't even keep up with building the amount of trucks they need to in the United States right now. So I think all the indicators are there that are helping Republicans. Democrats are just going to have to figure out how to find a line of attack. But right now, all the polling data suggests Republicans are picking up all of the energy. All of the steam seems to be headed in their trajectory right now.
Again, to your point as well, you don't want to sort of take a snapshot and assume that's the same snapshot you'll have in November. But I should hasten to add, Aaron, that a lot of the things we thought would happen have not happened yet. I'm wondering if the immigration issue is something that comes back to change the parameters, maybe an unexpected development, in the Kavanaugh fight. that could delay his confirmation or push it past the midterms. Those are the only kind of variables I see that could alter this course, but I could be missing others. What do you think?
Well, yeah, I think the Mueller investigation is a big one, and we don't know where that's going to go. And Rudy Giuliani and Michael Cohen and all of the developments there continue apace, and we'll see if there's another big one in the next couple of months. But look, I think going into the midterms, it's very unpredictable. We've seen a lot of ups and downs. And over the past several cycles, you generally know where things are going, with a large caveat there being 2016 and the presidential election. But, usually it's kind of a steamroll toward Election Day. And in this case, over the last year, it's kind of been up and down, and Democrats have had a huge advantage, and then Republicans have come roaring back. But I think you're right. There could be another few shoes to drop. I do think that the left is energized. There are a couple of things galvanizing that base, and you could see a big march towards social issues. We're seeing protests around the country on a host of issues, right, and that may have Democrats come out more to the polls. Now, in the Kavanaugh fight, the Democrats are suggesting that they want to fight, that they want to show their base that they are fighting this particular nomination because they were caught flat-footed on Gorsuch, and you might see a little bit come out there a little bit more. So, I think you're right that could be more. People have been talking about this paper trail with Kavanaugh. I would point out, though, that with Sonia Sotomayor, if you remember that particular nomination, there was a tape of her saying, "We do make policy," and that held her up for a little bit, but then she was ultimately concerned. I think, if anything, Democrats are going to try to make this nomination fight a bit of a voter education tool. Even if they can't truly fight the confirmation of Kavanaugh, they will show that the coming out to the polls each November is important because of the consequences it has.
And we should stress that paper trail got Kavanaugh in a whole bunch of trouble just getting to the court that he's on now. I think he had to wait 3 years before they finally settled this and got enough Democrats on board to ultimately vote on him, of course, a President Bush choice.